Okay, welcome back to this YouTube channel. So today we're going to learn decimals or decimal in Bahasa, the same pronunciation, right? Okay, what we are going to learn today, first of all, we are going to learn definition of decimals, definisi desimal, and then place value, nilai tempat, rational numbers, bilangan rasional, rounding off, pembulatan, and scientific notation atau notasi ilmiah. Okay, let's get started. Okay, definition of decimals. A decimal is a fraction written in a special form. Jadi desimal adalah pecahan yang ditulis dalam bentuk khusus. Okay, let's see for example. A half, okay, so this is half, can be written as 0.5 as a decimal. Okay, why? Because if you divide 1 by 2, you divide 1 by 2, so you can get 0 and you add 1 here, so 10 divided by 2 is 5 times 2 is 10, 0, so you get 0.5. okay, so in English we say point, not comma, yeah. And also for a quarter, so for 1 quarter we express this using decimal with 0.25. 0.25. You can get this using the same like this, so 1 divided by 4, okay, 0 point, and you add 0 after 1, and then 10 divided by 4 is 2 times 4 is 8, you subtract them, you get 2, and then you add 0, 2 divided by 4 is 5 times 4 is 20, okay, so you get 0.25. the same thing you get for 2/3. 2/3 you will get 0.6666666, etc., and so on. So this is infinite. Okay, so this is a decimal, so it's kind of different expression for a fraction. Okay, now let's continue to see a place value in decimal number. Okay, in a decimal number, it's also usually in normal number or whole number. We have hundreds because you multiply that with 100, and tens, okay, hundreds, tens, ones. I think you already learned this. And then you have decimal point. So in English we use decimal point to express decimal, which is very different. With Indonesia we usually use comma, so for example 2,5, but in English we say 2.5. okay, so we use point to express decimal. And then after the point, decimal point, we have tens atau 1/10, okay, 1/10 in bahasa Indonesia, and hundreds 1/100-an, and thousands 1/1000-an. Okay, so satuan, puluhan, ratusan, and after decimal point we have tens 1/1000-an, hundreds 1/100-an, and thousands 1/1000-an with thas in the end. Okay, let's see the example. So 74.531. okay, so after the decimal point you just need to mention the number one by one, or 531. or you can say 531 thousandths. Okay, so if there are 3 decimal number in after the decimal point, you say thousands in the end. Let me give you another example. So let's say 0.25 hundredths, because 2 decimal place after the decimal point, so hundredths. Okay, sorry, we have to use point. Okay, so that's quite difficult because we normally use comma in Bahasa Indonesia, but in English you're gonna use point. Okay, I think that's all for the place value. Now let's see the example. This is the example. Okay, the place value of 3 in the number 674.531 is, okay, so the place value of 3, let's see. Okay, the first number after decimal point is tenths, so this is tenths, so H is tenths, and the second numbers is hundredths, and the third number is thousands. Okay, thousands. So the place value of 3 is hundredths, so the answer is hundredths, or you can write like this, hundredths. 3 times hundredths, or 300ths. And then the second example, the place value of 7 in the same number. Okay, the same number, so 674.531, the place value of 7. Okay, let's see. The first one before the decimal point is ones. Okay, ones. So there are 4 ones. Jadi ada 41 di sini, 41. Kalau 41 kan berarti 4 ya. And the 7 is tens. Okay, without th, tanpa th. And 6 is hundreds. Okay, so the answer is the place value of 7 is tens, or you can say 7 times 10. Okay. Okay, so I think this is clear for place value. Now let's move to the next part, which is rational number. Okay, before I explain about rational number, you need to understand about recurring decimals. What is recurring decimal? So when you have a decimal number which is repeated infinitely or continuously, it's called a recurring decimal. So let's say, for example, 12.343434, etc., and so on, continuously. This is repeated continuously. So we can write 12.34, but you need to put a point on the top of 3 and 4, on top of the repeated number, because the repeated number is 343434. So you just need to write that once. In one condition, you need to put a point on top of the numbers. Jadi kamu harus memberikan titik di atasnya kalau dia berulang. Let's see another example. 6.531831. So this is repeated continuously until we don't know, forever. So you can write that like 6.5 831 and put a point on the top of the repeated numbers. Jadi berikan titik di atas bilangan atau angka yang diulang. Okay. Now, let's talk about rational numbers. Rational numbers are those that can be expressed as a fraction. Can be expressed with ed here. Can be expressed as a fraction. So let's see if the recurring number can be expressed as a fractions. If you can express this into a fraction, then this is a rational number. Jadi rational number itu bisa dinyatakan dalam bentuk pecahan. How to change recurring decimals into fractions? Okay, for example, let's see this. For example, so we want to make this a fraction. Kita akan membuat ini menjadi pecahan. First of all, let misalkan n equals 12.343434, and this is the first equation, persamaan pertama. And then you multiply the first equation by 10. So you multiply that with 10. So 10 times n is 10n equals 10 times 12.343434, so you get 1234.343434. This is the second equation. Now after that we subtract 2 with 1. Equation 2 with equation 1. Jadi kita kurangi persamaan 2 dan persamaan 1. Okay. So to subtract that, we usually write like this. 10n equals 1234.3434, okay, etc. and so on. And we have n in the first equation. This is the second equation, and we only have 12, so you have to make sure the point is in the same line. Jadi dia satu garis. Okay, so 12 3 4 3 4 3 4. This is the first equation, and then we subtract them. Kita kurangi ya. So 10n minus n, jadi 10n dikurangi 1n, so we only have 9n. And then for subtraction, we subtract from the n. So 4 kurang 4, this is 0 0 0 0 0 0, so this is cancel. Jadi ini dikurangi, yang di bawah kan jadi 0 semua ya. Now 4 minus 2 is 2, 3 minus 1 is 2, 2, this is 0, so 2 1. So we get 9n equals 1222, and from this we can get n equals to 1222 over 9. So this is the fraction. This is the fraction of this recurring decimal. Jadi pecahannya ini sama dengan 1222 per 9. Now you can try to find the fraction of these recurring decimals. So if you can change it into a fraction, it means that this is a rational number. This is rational number. Okay. Now, can you prove if this is a rational number or not by finding the fraction of this number? Okay. Now, let's move on to the next one, rounding off. Rounding off, or in bahasa Indonesia pembulatan. There are two kinds of rounding off. The first one is rounding up and the second one is rounding down. Pembulatan ke atas dan pembulatan ke bawah. For rounding up, add 1 the number in that place if the next number to the right is 5 or higher. Jadi tambahkan 1 pada bilangan itu jika bilangan setelahnya itu sama dengan 5 atau lebih dari 5. Okay, let's see for example. 53.2678 into 2 decimal places. Jadi sampai dua angka desimal. 2 decimal place it means that 2 numbers after the decimal point. So 1, 2. So this is 2 decimal places, right? Now see the number next to the right. Jadi lihat angka di sebelah kanannya. Okay, 6. This is 6, right? Angka sebelah kanannya adalah 7. So the next number is 7. 7 is higher than 5. Lebih besar dari 5. Okay, so we add 1, tambah 1 ke sini. 1 tambah 6, 1 plus 6 is 7. So the rounding up is 53.27 hundredths or 53.27. What about if it's equal to 5? Kalau misalnya pas sama dengan 5. For example, 3.265. Okay, kita mau rounding up to decimal places. So it equals to 3.27. Why 7? Because this is equal to 5. Jadi kalau sama dengan 5 atau lebih tinggi, you rounding up, tambah 1 ke sini. Nah, if the number next to the number, the last number smaller than 5, we just leave it the same. Kita biarkan sama saja. Let's see for example, 2.03913 into 3 up to 3 decimal places. Jadi 3 angka desimal. So 1, 2, 3 sampai sini ya. Now look at the number next to 9. Sampai ini kan sampai 3 angka desimal ya. Jadi kita lihat angka setelah 9, it's 1. 1 is smaller than 5, lebih kecil dari 5. It means that just leave it the same. Tulis yang sama persis, tidak ditambah, tidak dikurangi juga. Okay, so the rounding down is 2.039. Okay, jadi ini tinggal dihapus saja. So this is about rounding off. Whether it is rounding up or rounding down, it depends on the number after the last decimal place. Okay, next. Okay, scientific notation. Scientific notation. Before I explain about scientific notation, I'm gonna explain about significant figures. What are significant figures? So the concept of significant figures is similar to that of rounding off. Jadi agak mirip dengan rounding off ya. Let's see for example, 5,978,214. Okay, we want to rounding off to 3 significant figures. Okay, 3 significant figures. Okay, so significant figures adalah 3 numbers from the beginning. Okay, from the beginning, but we neglect 0. Kita abaikan, kalau ada 0 di depan sini kita abaikan. So 3 numbers from the beginning. Let's see, the 3 significant figures adalah 5, 6, 7, right? Ini adalah significant figuresnya. Okay, sekarang look at the number after 7? It's 8. Okay, it's 8. 8 is larger than 5, lebih besar dari 5. So you rounding up. Ini ditambahkan 1. So you write 5, 6, 8. Oke, jadi 7 tambah 1 menjadi 8. Dan the last number, the remaining becomes 0, 0, 0, 0. Okay, so 5,680,000. So this is rounding up. Okay, now what about decimal numbers like this one? 0.0342. Okay, up to 2 significant figures. Okay, 2 significant figures. Jadi 2 significant figures. Jadi 2 significant figures mean 3 and 4. Okay, kita tidak hitung 0 ya. Significant figures itu mulai dari depan tapi selain 0, selain 0. So kita tidak hitung ini, langsung 3, 4. So this is the significant figure. Now look at the number after 4. Setelah 4 is 2. Okay, it's 2. So 2 less than 5, kurang dari 5. So we just remove this and write 0.035. 34, sorry. 34. Okay, you can write 0 here, but it doesn't matter. So you can just write like that. Okay, so this is after comma, yeah. After the point, sorry. This is the significant figure. Now how to write scientific notation. Scientific notation. So significant figures are written as an amount between 1 and 10 multiplied by a power of 10. So if you write like this, it's called scientific notation. Okay, let's say for example, so this is significant figures. Okay, this is significant figures. Okay, these significant figures can be written into scientific notation dengan membuatnya menjadi 1 sampai 10. Okay, untuk mengubah ini menjadi 1 sampai 10, you just write 3.456. Okay, so 3.456. Okay, so you move the point just after 3. Okay, let's see. This is the point was here, and then you move it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times. So you multiply this with 10 to the power of 7. Okay, so let's see this as an example. So 5,980,000. Okay, you want to make it to scientific notation, so you write 5.68. Okay, so because only 3 significant figure here, and see how many times you move the point. So you count from here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 times. So you multiply this with 10 to the power of 6. Okay. The same thing happened to a smaller or decimal number. Let's say 0.00000413. So you want to write the scientific notation of this, you can write 4.13. So you just write the significant figure here. There are 3. 4.13 times. Okay, so you count from here. This is the first point here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so times 3 to the power of minus 6. So when you count back from here to here, the power is minus, so minus 6. But if you count to the front, so 1 2 3 4 until 3.4, so you add plus 7 to the power 10 to the power of 7. Okay, so that's the difference. Cool. So that's about scientific notation. Jadi kalau misalnya kamu menghitung ke depan 1 2 3 4 itu dipangkatkan dengan 7 positif. If you count back, hitung ke belakang sini 1 2 3 4 until 6, it means that pangkat 10-nya adalah minus 6. Okay, I hope you understand this explanation. Thank you very much and see you in the next video. Bye.